Hi guys, we have just received LayerZero and ZkSync airdrops, and over the last week you might be working with a lot of newfound liquidity for your wallets and future airdrop farming. If you have received the airdrops and you're wondering what now, we're going to be exploring the new passive income airdrop opportunities where you can park your newfound crypto and best position yourself for the next couple of weeks and months. We're going to be going from a more established, more safe projects, so to say, and then going down the risk curve. Later in the video, we're going to be exploring some more degen strategies. Let's go. Starting with LayerZero, they have recently just came out with their checker for airdrop eligibility, and by the time you're watching this video, maybe the airdrop is already claimable. Now, the important thing is to note that they have already had multiple snapshot rounds, and maybe we will have more in the future. So keep an eye out on tokenomics, and we will keep you updated with the ecosystem incentives and potentially multiple airdrop rounds. For now, if you have farms in Stargate in version 1, make sure to migrate these to version 2. So simply withdraw from V1 and deposit back into V2. And for these ones, we have some really nice APRs on stable coins. For example, if you deposit on perhaps METIS or Optimism or Mental, these ones usually offer the best APRs regarding LayerZero. Now for ZkSync, if you want to keep your assets on the network and you still haven't bridged out, then you can find some really nice pairs on this SyncSwap platform, and here you have some great zero impermanent loss opportunities. For example, ETH and wrapped staked ETH offering currently 900%, but this is only because the liquidity is very, very low. So this is going to be much, much lower as soon as more people deposit into the pool. Of course, you have some other pairs such as ZK and ETH. They offer 150%, and this one has almost 2 million in liquidity, so it is potentially a better opportunity if you want to deal with the permanent loss of ZK and ETH not being correlated. And while there won't be any more ZkSync airdrops from the network itself, there's going to be a lot more ecosystem initiatives and partner programs such as SyncSwap, and they will be distributing ZkSync tokens based on activity. So that's one reason that you might want to stay in ZkSync. Now, we cannot talk about passive income airdrops unless we mention the biggest narrative of 2024, which is the restaking meta. EigenLayer has already had season 1 of their airdrops concluded on May 10th, but currently we are looking at another round for season 2, which has included all the liquid restaking tokens, such as if you had funds in Pendle or EtherFi, Kelp, Swell, and others. So in a day or two, we will be able to see our allocations from these protocols, and of course the airdrop claim itself will be transferable from the EigenLayer sometime in August or September this year. Another news from this narrative is that Renzo has secured 17 million in more total funding, so they are another potentially interesting play. However, I'm sticking with EtherFi, and some of the best strategies for this is usually with Pendle, because Pendle YTs, whether it is with Ethena, EtherFi, or many others, have been incredibly profitable in the past. And last EtherFi strategy has to do with Zircuit. Zircuit is another one of these places where you can park your EtherFi ETH, and they're very, very soon to mainnet, only maybe a week or 2 weeks until we have Zircuit mainnet launch. Also, if you're going to with EtherFi, keep in mind that the EtherFi Season 2 finishes on June 30th, which means that if you haven't deposited yet, you might need to deposit a lot of capital in order to actually qualify for EtherFi Season 2. And finally, the last place you can deposit your EtherFi tokens is Mitosis. They have just announced that Epoch 4 is live, and this one does not have deposit caps. So depending where your assets are, you can deposit your EtherFi tokens on Linea or Mode, even Ethereum mainnet, or many others. And the last of a little more safe projects is definitely Ethena. Ethena is one of the biggest stablecoin providers and issuers out there on a mission to actually dethrone Tether to become #1. And they have an ongoing SATS campaign. Season 2 of their airdrop is in full swing, and you have until maybe September this year to actually participate. Of course, as their total value locked approaches 5 billion, they might finish this airdrop campaign sooner. Currently, we're sitting at 3.5 billion in total value locked in Ethena. Now, we have covered all of these projects in detail in the past, and the easiest way to find more in-depth guides is to simply go on our website and choose the search category, find the one that you are looking for more details on, and find it in that simple way. Now, most of these strategies we're going to talk about now come from our Discord, where we discuss some really in-depth detailed guides. However, it is important to know that it's not all about airdrop farming and strategies and planning. Sure, it's the biggest part and most important part, but there's also this sense of community that when you're talking with people who are experienced and know what they're doing, then you can also make much better decisions when it comes to airdrop hunting in general. For example, there's this one guy that was very worried about this Sybil witch hunt that LayerZero started. He has farmed LayerZero with many wallets, and he was worried he might be a Sybil. However, after some communication with some experienced guys from our Discord, then he understood that it's probably not worth panicking and just did not self-report. Today, he's very, very grateful for that because most of his wallets qualified and he's getting a very nice LayerZero allocation. So this is another unspoken truth about Discord and why communities matter, because a lot of the time it's just the motivation and the understanding of this space that helps you a lot more than specific strategies that we discuss all the time. And we also have a lot of fun because there's a lot of memes and a lot of good people, fun people around as well. So if this is something that interests you, make sure to check the subscription page. And here you can find also all the information for Discord and the airdrop tracking application that is just a lifesaver when it comes to organization and everything related to airdrop farming, multiple projects, and maybe even multiple wallets. Now let's explore some more degen strategies, starting with Symbiotic. This is another restaking meta competitor. Currently, all the caps for this are full, but personally I'm mostly interested in this Mantle staked Ether because I really want some exposure to Mantle ecosystem. Another one you can look at is potentially the Lyra Finance, and they have this yield function where you can get between 10 to 50% APR on your deposit, as well as 3x multiplier on your LDX, which is their native airdrop of their native Lyra token, as well as 3x multiplier on EtherFi and some Eigenlayer points. This is for EtherFi, but you can also go with the Kelp DAO or Swell. There are multipliers for both of these projects as well. Now, the reason we're bringing this is because this is very under the radar. It's only $50 million in total value locked, which means that it might be a better opportunity if you want to not play the whale games, which is usually the restaking meta in general. Now, Aptos is one of these blockchains that is probably not a good idea fading because 49% of token is still reserved for multiple airdrop rounds. So you want to find some projects in Aptos that are going to be airdrop multipliers. You can get some liquid staked Aptos with Thala, Amnis, or even Tortuga. And then you can also play around with Arius markets. They also have a points program, and this gives you some extra exposure to Aptos in a sensible way. Lastly, there is also LiquidSwap. LiquidSwap is probably the main DEX on Aptos, and here you can also qualify for their airdrop for simply using the platform, swapping, and providing liquidity. Lastly, you also have this flip side, which is kind of like layer 3 for Aptos, where by simply completing incredibly basic tasks that will take you 1 minute, you can generate rewards between 1 to multiple Aptos tokens. So this is basically $100 to $150 for simply doing stuff on chain in Aptos. Incredible alpha, courtesy of our legend in Discord, Blicky. Kudos to you. Of course, we cannot forget about Elixir. Elixir has two ways to play it. First, if you want some SUI exposure, you can deposit USDC directly onto the platform. Or if you want to have exposure to Orderly, you can generate both Orderly deeds and Elixir potions while getting a 20% estimated APY on many different pairs on the Orderly Quantum / Elixir platform. And finally, if you want some exposure to Bitcoin and Bitcoin Layer 2 ecosystem, you have Staking DAO. They are a liquid staking project built on Stack's Layer 2 blockchain with a total value locked of just under 100 million and total users around 35,000. This might be very, very under the radar and a potentially very lucrative airdrop opportunity. They also have an ongoing points program. And that's a wrap regarding all the updates regarding passive income from airdrops today. If you find the content valuable, consider liking and subscribing with bell notifications on. If you want to find more details for specific projects we talked about, make sure to use the search functionality on our website. And if you're serious about crypto, if you're serious about airdrops, we are waiting for you in our Discord. Till next time, have an amazing day.